The second entry of the Middle-earth series, Shadow of War, adds a lot of new things and also improves everything which was good about the last game. Here's my review of Shadow of War. Now talking about the thing that I most liked about Shadow of War is the newly improved Nemesis System. It's a huge step up from the Nemesis System in Shadow of Mordor with much more depth. The Nemesis System in Shadow of War is really improved. To find a target or captain, you have to interrogate a guard and pick any one of the captains that are there in the particular region, know their names, know where they are, and plan your attack. Or you can just have an encounter with them while you're in an outpost or a fort. You can also have your own followers or allies which take over the place of captains. You can also, make them fight in the arena, send them on missions, and even promote them to captain and warlocks. But don't trust your allies so easily, because they can easily turn on you if they want to. You can also transfer your most loyal follower or ally from the previous game to Shadow of War. That's what I like about the Nemesis system in Shadow of War. It's really much more in-depth and interesting, and it's really much more focused on, and they really build upon a lot from the previous game in terms of the Nemesis system, and it's really awesome. The combat in Shadow of War is also really much improved and better, especially with them adding a lot of new and brutal finishing moves. It definitely is a huge step up. Especially with new attacks and abilities, you have new and interesting ways to defeat your enemies, which is fantastic and awesome. There are also new weapons you can use, and there are just a lot of things about the combat in Shadow of War that makes it just way better than the combat in the previous game. And yeah, that's what I like about the combat. It's really interesting and very much brutal and fun. I really like the combat system in Shadow of Mordor, and Shadow of War is no exception. The open world in Shadow of War is much more bigger than Shadow of Mordor. There are different regions and areas you can explore, and each region is almost the size of Shadow of Mordor's map. The regions are really unique and different from each other, and that's what I like about the open world. And obviously, in each region there are tons of side quests and activities you can do. There's a lot to do in Shadow of War besides the main campaign. I really felt like I wanted to do the side activities more instead of playing through the main campaign, just because they're so much fun. You can take over fortresses, kill captains, solve puzzles and riddles, fight in the arena, and there's so much stuff to do. And the good thing is that these things never really get boring. For me, I kept fighting in the arena to find more challenging opponents. This all helps in leveling up Talion and gets you better gear. Especially after completing a side quest, you get skill points to unlock more new skills, and after killing a captain or a warlock, they drop a piece of equipment and gear you can use, and this is how you get better gear in the game. This is why I kept playing the game, to do more side quests, to level up Talion and get better gear and learn new skills. They definitely added a lot of side content in the game, so even after beating the story, you have plenty of stuff to do, which is another reason I like this game so much. Shadow of War's story, in my opinion, was quite disappointing. The characters are pretty bland and it's just not executed properly. Even the story in Shadow of Mordor was quite mediocre, but still Shadow of War tried its best, but the overall main campaign of the game is quite a letdown. Now talking about loot boxes and microtransactions, the reason why people are hating this game so much, now I think it's all bullshit. I played a lot of this game and never even forced one loot box or microtransaction on me. Now I do agree that microtransactions is a bad business practice and devs should not add them in games, but if you hate microtransactions, just ignore them and don't buy them. It's not like the game forces it on you or something. I know quite a lot of few games who have microtransactions, but if you make a big deal out of it, you will not be able to enjoy the game and it will ruin your experience. So just ignore microtransactions and don't get them. Simple as that. Shadow of War is what I would like to call a true sequel, because it takes what was good about the previous title, Shadow of Mordor, and it improves in every way. With a much better and improved Nemesis system and combat and many more things, Shadow of War really shines. It does has an overall weak story and bland cast of characters. I know that transactions and everything is a huge problem and devs should not add them in games, but I play a lot of this game, guys, and it never even forced one microtransaction on me. So yeah, just don't buy them if you hate microtransactions. But still, it didn't really ruin the experience for me, and I really enjoyed Shadow of War. I'm not really gonna give out a review score or anything, but if I were to, I'll probably give this game an 8 or 9 out of 10. Most likely a 9 out of 10, just because the amount of side content and the amount of just the Nemesis system and the combat. That's the only reason I love this game. The combat, the Nemesis system, and just the side content, the side quests, the side missions, and everything you can do in the open world. And just Shadow of War really impresses in those areas, but it really is very weak in terms of main campaign. But really, Shadow of War is a fantastic game, and you should definitely get it. And if you have played Shadow of Mordor, you'll definitely like this game.